Good evening. It's just gone 2 p.m. Eastern time, or just gone 7 o'clock here in the UK, and I'm just going to recap my trading for today. A decent green day, only took one trade, technically two trades which I'll get into, and I'll explain why I got into it and where I got out. Just a quick one. We're looking at the daily chart at the moment, and we can see today we couldn't break that level we were watching, and we're just kind of hovering around this area, which just happens to be right on this trend line I've drawn in. So I think the key crucial thing over the next few days over today is, can we break and close below this area, or will we close over this area? And we've got Google and Microsoft earnings tonight, so maybe we're just eating time off the clock for a bit and just going to move sideways. But we are currently under the 200 moving average on the daily. So you may have noticed also my 200 moving average has moved today. I realised I had my options changeover adjustment set turned on, which I normally enable just a day before the contracts expire on futures, and my 200 was up here, but it was different to everyone else's, so I moved mine. I don't really look at the 200 or use it as an indicator to trade from on the daily, so it wasn't a big issue. But obviously I like to see, I use the 200 basically based on what is the 200-day trend, and as you know, we're trending up on the 200, and the 50 we're trending down. So still looking pretty bearish today, and we've got a topping tail or shooting star candle, so showing a bit of weakness there. Anyway, going into my trade, I'm on the 5-minute chart now, and if you recall from the pre-market videos, I was watching a couple of areas which are higher probability, and let's go back to the hourly so we can just look at those, review those levels again. So one level I was watching was this double top. So yesterday's high, and it was a top. It was a break and retest level from Friday. It was a rejection on yesterday, Monday, and as you can see today, it came into that area and rejected it again, and that was exactly my entry was up here. And my other higher probability bounce area was this area here. We've not got to that yet. And I was also watching 42, 37, 50 for a potential bounce. 42, 17, 42, 20 area still on the cards for potential bounce if we get down there. But the trade I'm going to discuss will be this one. So let's go into the 5-minute chart. So this is a 5-minute chart, and you can see off the open we had quite high volume, and it was a messy chart. We broke the pre-market here, big candle up, big candle down, big candle up, big candle down, big candle up, couple of biggish candles down, still not settled, and I wasn't going to get involved in this mess. One of my trades I like to look for is a break and retest of the pre-market high or low, and I didn't really see it, to be honest, because I'll tell you the other reason I didn't see it. These big candles just left me totally uninterested in trading today, and I wasn't going to take any trades if we're going to keep going sideways like that and chopping around. So, and the other reason was I was just doing a bit of coding, a bit of programming while all this is happening. You know, I develop indicators for TradingView, so I was just updating some TradingView indicators and making them a bit more accurate. But anyway, so let's get into the trade. The one I took was here. So the first trade I got in was exactly at my level, 42.79. It was because it hadn't been tested yet, I took a single contract of MES, and I kept my stop pretty tight, and I stopped out just there, and the loss was something like 0.1, 0.2 R, so it was a very, very small loss, a paper cut really. Excuse me. So my next trade, so that was basically my trade, which is kind of part of this trade. I was just testing for a rejection in that area, and as you can see, it did reject, and it came back up, and it didn't. My scalp area, I'll get into why I didn't take profit, but you know, I only had one contract. I was looking to add back up here. It came back in anyway, so next time, so I took a small stop there and I instantly got back in. I saw it push up, put in this tail, and I was in there, and I added in there as well. So my average price was 42.82 in the end. So that was my average price just there. And my first out, so my stop was going to be there. So 1R was basically the entry I was looking for. So I got a better price than the level I wanted to get. And don't forget, when I call these levels, these are areas of interest. They're not like areas, they're not like line in the sand or anything like that, but I'm looking for this area. I had an alert come in when we got to here as well, so that's why I stopped programming and started keeping an eye on the market, a bit like the alerts I've got down here, which have not been triggered yet, this one here. So so once the alert triggers me, that's when I take interest, and that's when I look to take some trades. So my first out was pushed down, it came all the way back up, and I scalped it actually as we broke through the 20 moving average. I saw this bottom tail, and I thought volume, it was on higher than average volume as well, and I didn't really want it to get me back to break even, so I took one off there. I would have added had we got back into that area again, because I thought it might have just gone sideways before breaking down. And the other reason I took this, I'm going to show you, because I took a screenshot, and it's that one, was because of this massive area of sellers. In fact, I wish I took the screenshot at that point, because here you can't really see how much volume was there, because the volume started, any buyers or any sellers were just dropping their orders at that point once the market had gone down. But when we were here, you can see the history of it. There was like, I think there was like 800 orders and 900 orders and 400, so it was quite a lot of orders. So I was confident, well, not confident, but confident enough knowing that it's going to take a lot to get through this big section of sell orders. And so that's the reason I went in, and that's why I added on the contracts coming back down as well, because it's an outright rejection, as you can see. So I was in 3 contracts. My first out was about here, and basically panicked because of this tail. But that's fine. I was looking to get an out around the bottom of that area, and I was a bit too slow to catch this. And my next out was on the VWAP, and that's exactly where I wanted it. Basically the pre-market high area. That's the area I was watching. I might have seen another bounce like we saw there, and that's why I added. That's why I wanted to have an out there, just in case. And then I held the last one, and could I have handled it better? I was trading basically the 5-minute candle, and my stop was just there, and as you can see, it whipped me out of my stop and instantly rejected. So it's a bit disappointing. Maybe I need to work better on holding my runner and just give myself a bit more room, because no, I'm happy with what I did. That was my stop area anyway, and I was trading the 5-minute candles down. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't, but you probably see a bit of a recurring theme now in these videos. Every time I talk about I didn't leave a runner, it's because I keep trailing or leaving my stops too tight. And look where we got down to. We got right down to that neckline area on the daily we was just looking at, and we bounced up right off of it, the trend line I meant, sorry. What can I do to improve? I think because I only had 3 contracts, and the reason I'm trading 3 contracts is because I'm trading 14 Apex accounts. So even though it's 3 contracts, it's really trading 45 contracts. I can't really work it out in my brain. Been a long day, and it's late here in the UK. 14 times 3. Oh, 42 I meant, obviously. Yeah, for 42 contracts, and so it's a lot of contracts to let this pull right back. And I was up. My runner, the bit I had left here, had more unrealised gains than the scalp I took and the VWAP target I took. So that's the reason I didn't want to give back the gains. So what can I do better? Maybe I should have identified it was a pullback and had a plan in place to take it on the break back down of that area. on hindsight it's great because I'm looking at now, it's it's an obvious level. I could have just waited for the structure to break, wait to get in and wait for this big breakdown, and maybe that's what a lot of people did as well. And I could have carried on, maybe not trailing, but maybe go from one level to the next level. Where would I have got out? That probably would have been a target there. And in fact, there was an area, there was a candle on the level 2 on the 2 minute time frame, which probably would have got me nervous, and it was a big hammer candle or bottom tail candle, and maybe I would have got out had I seen that candle, but that was up here somewhere. I think it probably was there. But at the end of the day, my average price was here, my out was here and there, so I got a fair chunk of the move, and I know I left a lot of money on the table, and so that is part of my plan I put on every day, which I want to work on. So I'm slowly working on my goals. 1% change every week. So one of my changes was to keep my stops tight, to stop me having these large red days, and that's what I've been doing, and I've done really well over the last couple of days. Like I think I said last week, I had 5 stop outs, and where I just kept my stops really tight, and eventually the one I got into was the big 16-20R move down, and so those 5 paper cut stops there more than the trade, that one trade more than covered the losses I made on those ones. So it is working, keeping my stops tight, and exactly what I did today. I kept it tight there rather than add into a losing position. I'm just looking to get back in again, and as you can see, my in was an excellent entry. And again, use my level as an area to look for entries. You can also see after the market opened, this level here I talked about, high risk area, came in a couple of times. You could have taken some trades off of it, but I didn't like the market action, so I wasn't taking any of that. I just wanted to see the market make a direction and then play my levels, and that's what I did. But had you followed, if you took 42.60 today, you did a great job. You could have got in a couple of times, and then you could have trailed it up to the next level. And as you probably see in all my videos, I keep saying the levels always work. Well, the levels which I seem to be picking seem to be working pretty well. So we got that level yesterday. I think I explained that in my video. I nailed the top, and that was before we had a double top, and I trailed it right down, and I nailed that level yesterday as well, and I trailed it up. So they're 2 great levels, and I also nailed this level today as well. So good day. So some good levels. Anyway, I think that's it really. I'm not trading anymore today. That one trade is the only trade I wanted to do. So I will see you tomorrow, 8 AM, no, 9 AM Eastern Time, or 2 PM here in the UK. Don't forget, please hit the like button, because that helps to Google the YouTube algos, and how much we ate the algos. Well, this time we want to trust the algos to promote these videos. And then don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well, because and get notified tomorrow when I go live on the live market, and then I'll adjust my levels tomorrow and get some good levels for the day. Okay, thank you for watching, and I will speak to some of you shortly.